Hi everyone, welcome in this new video. In this video, I'll talk to you about a game that I played online, a blitz game, 3 minutes for all the game, that I played with Black with the King's Indian. So we will see in this game how to attack with the King's Indian, and I hope you can enjoy it. Let's start with the game. I played Black. My opponent was a player around my level, maybe even stronger than me. His rating blitz was 100 points more than mine. And in this game, I played knight f6, g6, bishop g7, e4, d6. That is a classical King's Indian. Remember that when you play the King's Indian, you delay the fight for the center. You don't push the pawns immediately, but in the future, you have to push e5 or c5 to counterplan the center. He played knight f3, I played castle, bishop e2, and now I played e5. I start my counterplan the center. It's very important to know that I don't lose the pawn if white takes the pawn on e5, because I can simply take back, and after knight e5 I can have knight takes e4. So at the end, if he wins my knight on e4, I can win the knight on e5, and it's an equal trade. For this reason, usually white doesn't take the pawn e5, and white plays usually castle, and now knight c6 to add more pressure on the center. Here d5 and knight d7. Very important to note that once we reach this position, the center is locked. And once the center is locked, it's important because this is a requirement to create an attack on the king side. As you will see in this video, later I will push the pawn f, the pawn g, and I will attack. To make this attack, it's very important that the center is locked. If the center is not locked, then maybe the attack is not really good for me and I have to choose other strategies. Let's see the game. In the game, white play knight e1. It's a logical move to potentially play f3 to defend e4, play knight d3 and support the queenside play, that is the white plan in this case. And I play knight d7 with a simple idea to play f5. White play knight d3, f5, f3, f4. f4 is another important strategical move because I want to attack and space is necessary to have a good attack. So I take space playing f4, controlling important squares, and at the same time I want to push g4 in the future to undermine, to break the enemy structure. So the g4 point will be the break point for me. He played b4 to counterplay and support the push c5, and here I play g5, c5, knight f6, and a4. h5 always all moves to support g4. Knight f2 to stop g4. For now, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 for defenders, so I have only 1, 2, and 3 attackers, so I'm not ready to push g4. I play bishop h6 to improve the bishop, and also to free a square for my rook, because my plan is to play rook f7, rook g7 to support g4 more, and also to bring the rook in the same file of the enemy king to attack the king in the future. So white played a5, and here I played rook f7, a6, b6. And very important, when you defend, usually you don't push the pawns on the side in which you're defending. So in this case, I'm defending on the queen side, and I push the pawns less I can. But once a6 is played, now my pawn b7 is under attack, and white is trying to open the a file. So I prefer to play b6 to lock the position on the queen side. He took on d6 and I took on d6, so now he opened the c file, but on the c file he needs more time to attack than on the a file, which the enemy rook was ready. So for me, it's better allow that he opened the c file than the a file in this case. So he played knight b5, rook g7 to continue with my plan, and here he played h3. I think h3 is a small mistake because it's true that it's good to stop g4, but it's also weakening the structure of the king. So in the future, maybe it's easier for me to prepare a sacrifice if the pawns are more pushed. So I think it was better for him to play simple like queen c2, maybe also play queen c7, because in general the endgame is better for white. So also offer the queen trade could be logical for white in this kind of position. So I like queen c2 for white in this position. In the game, he played h3, and now I play knight g6 to involve other pieces inside my attack. And white played bishop b2. I played knight h4, bishop takes e5. Okay, and this is a mistake. Remember, it's a blitz game, so 3 minutes without increment for all the game. I think he lost the patience and he tried to do something quick, but it's not really good because I can simply take the bishop, and then after d6, the square d5 is well defended by knight. So there are big threats. Now I continue with my attack because it's not threatening much, so I play g4. He takes, and I take it with the bishop. But even if I can't take back, this position is very good for me because one day maybe I can open the dark bishop, playing f3, and then I can also add new attackers against g4 to take this pawn later. So I think it's okay for me, even if I don't take the pawn immediately. It's good because now the white king is very weakened, and after he moved before bishop takes e5, okay, I'm up a piece, so now the game is much easier. Queen d7, rook c1, f3. Okay, rook c1 is another mistake because he missed the attack, the square attack with f3. He took with the pawn, I took the rook, and now my advantage becomes very, very strong. Here, I think I had 30 seconds, so so now my time is not much, and I decide to sacrifice, and I think it's okay because his king is completely open, and if he takes my rook, then there is queen g4, and I can threaten queen g2 checkmate. So in the game he played king h1, but if he takes, clearly king here is not available because I've mate, and if king here I can play maybe rook check, king e1, queen g3, and then I can play queen g2, and then I win because I take the rook and I have always mating net. So yes, rook g4 is strong. He played king here, and then I played rook f4 to, I don't know, I was a long time, and my idea was to mate here, playing queen h3, queen g2, but he played correctly rook check, king here, rook g3 covering my idea, and here I played rook here to remove the defender and again try to checkmate in that way. He played rook queen g1, I traded, and then I played queen here to attack the king with the square attack, and then he played queen h3 to cover the king. Rook f2, adding pressure on the bishop, he played bishop d3, and this is the final mistake. Maybe it was better for him to try to check, and maybe trade queens to avoid the checkmate, but in this way I win immediately with knight f3. Because yes, I trade the queen, but then I have the Arabic mate that is unstoppable, so rook h2 is coming, and the mate is coming. Now he resigned because there is nothing to do against it. Okay, so what's important about this game? It's important for sure for players that if you play King's Indian, for sure this example is very useful for you. But review the strategical ideas. The strategical ideas that are very important are: number one, the center. So if you want to attack, if you want to make this attack, the pawn storm attack, like I did in this game, it's very important the center is locked. So you have to wait the push d5, and you have to play with the structure. Remember, white is attacking the queen side, black wants to attack on the king side, and to attack we need space. So after we push f5, f4 is important. I take space on the king side, then I want to break and open lines, so g4 will be very important also. And it's not so easy to play g4, so I have to work a little bit to do that. Bring all my pieces there, and finally, at one point, I played g4. So first step, take space. Second step, open the position playing g4, and first step very often is also sacrifices, because if his king is very open, very often then we can sacrifice to then make the final tap with checkmate ideas. That's something very important for your strategy. I hope everything is clear, and thanks for watching it, and see you for new videos soon. Bye.